Okay, I'm here in the shop. I've had my guitar that I've been working on for a while strung up since Sunday, actually. Put the tuners on, you see them there. After playing it a bit, I messed with the action, took the nut down a little bit, and filed the saddle just a little bit to correct some intonation. And it still didn't seem right to me, and I realized that the neck was probably still a little too thick. So I've gone back in, taking out my handy dandy spoke shave and some sandpaper and my rasp, etc., and taking this neck down about 1/8 of an inch. Using one of these Shub capos that I put on my Collings OM. Essentially, I wanted to match that neck, and that's worked really well. But now I have to refinish the neck, and I decided I would do something that's called whiskering. This is a woodworking technique that I think I first ran across at gunsmiths with making gun stocks, whereby when you sand, you raise fibers, right? The fibers of the wood are never perfectly in line with the surface, rarely. So, and you can sand, but then as soon as you apply finish, that raises those fibers up, and you have to then resand between coats, and that eventually works. But you can also do this whiskering process where you sand. I've now taken this down to 400 grit sandpaper, and then you put a light spritz on it with the water, like this. I mean, some people would be absolutely horrified by doing this. Many woodworkers I know would never go near water. So I'm wetting it down, and then taking my handy dandy Harbor Freight heat gun, and then immediately heating that up. And what that's going to do is raise the grain on this neck. You see it's immediately drying right off. But that will raise the fibers back up. And then we'll get this all dried out good. It won't take long. You want to get it too hot. Okay, just make sure all the water's gone. And you can see where I'm blending into the original finish. Look at that beautiful mahogany back, by the way. This is a nice, they're not really nice looking. Okay, now I've got that dried off, and here's what you do. It's like petting a dog, right? You feel in one direction or the other, or feeling, if you're a man, feeling your face after you haven't shaved for a few days. You will feel, fuzz in one direction, but not the other, okay? Now this is a little complicated because because mahogany is so precious, I have a laminated neck out of 2 pieces. So in this case, when I run my hand this way, I do feel resistance. It's like petting a dog against the grain. This one, I go this way, it's fine, but then I come back, when I go this way, it's fine. I come back this way, there's a little fuzz. So what you do, all right, so now I'm feeling the fuzz. You just take, I've now got 600 grit sandpaper, and you just lightly rub against that fuzz. Let me get the guitar here, it's hard to do, and also video. You rub it just one way against that, and you're taking off those, it's literally like shaving the wood with sandpaper, right? And you can do this multiple times. I remember when Jessie, my daughter, we built her counter about 10 years ago in Bethel. We spent much of a day whiskering this beautiful hard maple butcher block that I put down. And that, 10 years later, that thing is still like glass, right? This permanently removes those whiskers, right? So when you put the finish on, they don't raise. Or if you're going to just leave it open like Jessie's counter, right? So you see, I'm just stroking that lightly, pushing out those whiskers. And this is now absolutely glass smooth, right? I'm going to do this probably one more time, and then I'm going to hand rub a finish back on there, and I will have the neck I want now. And this will be more playable than it was. Nice little Waverly butterbean tuners there, gold plated. So that's whiskering.